Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. Another paid request, this time from MegaPorkChopExpress. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested, requested pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for The River Wild from 1994. Now, it's directed by Curtis Hanson, who has passed away, but he directed LA Confidential, he directed 8 Mile, and the film stars Meryl Streep, David Strathairn, Kevin Bacon, John C. Reilly, and the boy from the first Jurassic Park, kid who played Tim. And pretty much Meryl Streep is having marriage problems with her husband, David Strathairn. She's going to take their son to do some rafting down the rapids, down the river, because she knows quite a bit about rafting. The daughter character is going to be with some grandparents. Ultimately, the father does decide to come along. Their marriage problems because he's a workaholic and doesn't have time for his family. We've heard that many times before. Pretty much one thing leads to another while Meryl Streep, David, and their son, they're going through this. They meet up with these guys, Kevin Bacon, John C. Reilly, and a third guy. And then later, Kevin Bacon, John C. Reilly goes, well, our guide left, and we kind of don't know what to do. Oh, come join us. We'll help you out. Sooner or later, find out that Kevin Bacon and John C. Reilly are bad guys. They got a bag of money. They got a gun, and they want them to be taken, taken down the river. And that's pretty much the story at hand. Like I said, came out in 1994. A very different type of film from Meryl Streep. She wasn't known for these type of action thriller type of movies. And you got music by Jerry Goldsmith. I will say there's some really good location shots. There's some really good looking shots of the river and the landscape, and the last 15 minutes are pretty intense, and it's the actors really doing the work where they gotta go through these dangerous bits of the rapids, and you see it's actually Meryl Streep, it's actually Kevin Bacon and this group going back and forth, going down, nice looking wide shots to show the actors in frame, very dangerous waters, cascading over rocks, rapids, water hit them in the face, almost toppling over. Like I said, the last 15 minutes, well filmed, intense. I wish more of the movie was like that, because I could say without a doubt I'm not a fan of this movie. I've never been a fan of this movie. I've seen this film before. I wasn't that impressed. Watch it again, I'm still not that impressed. I wouldn't say it's a horrible bad movie, no, but yeah, I remember seeing this back in the day, and I'm like, nah, I don't need the DVD for this, or I don't need to Blu-ray of this. And watch it, yeah, I just saw it online. I'm like, I still don't need this. And see, I think the pacing suffers. I think it gets a bit too long for it to really get going. And at the first half, I don't really find that interesting. The Meryl Streep, David Strathairn marriage problems, I don't really find that interesting. I don't even know if I could say they really had a lot of chemistry with each other. And I know my friend Michael CP loves the film, and I know MegaPorkChopExpress really likes the film. They feel it's underrated. I don't. I don't feel it's underrated. I feel it's rated just as it is. I mean, just a 6.79 to be, and to me that's a bit too high. But I think Meryl Streep is miscast. I wasn't really big on Meryl Streep in this movie. And I know MegaPorkChopExpress and Michael CP, they would disagree, and that's fine, but I think Meryl Streep was miscast. And I'm not even going to say she was garbage. She was not garbage at all. But I just didn't believe her 100% in this role. I don't know if just the way she approached it and the way she acted it. And there are moments that work. Like her final bit with Kevin Bacon works. But there's other moments where she just felt off. And I'm sitting there going, you know what, if this movie had Sigourney Weaver or Gina Davis or Demi Moore, I could buy this a lot more. I think I would enjoy it more. But also, I've just never been a big Meryl Streep guy. She's one of those actresses I thought was fine. Just fine. But if you had like a Rene Russo, or can't be Sandra Bullock because this was '94, that would be the year of Speed. I just would have preferred a different actress. And I probably got a bit more into, as I guess, call from spam. Piss off. I think David Strathairn, his character seemed a little, just a teeny bit more interesting, where he's a workaholic and he admits that he works a lot because, as he puts it, how did he put it? Trying to make you proud of me again, because I didn't think I was good enough. And he's not a fighter, he's not a bit tough guy, but he's trying to do the best that he can in this situation. And there's a point where he has to run through the woods with his dog because they have to get ahead of these characters who are going through the rapids, the river. I'll probably say I liked him a bit more than Meryl Streep. Kevin Bacon stole the show. I thought Kevin Bacon did a really good job. Because you buy him as being charming at the beginning, and oh yeah, this is a really nice guy. And then he did play evil as well, but Kevin Bacon has always been a great actor. Of course, my favorite role, yes, is in Tremors, as Val. But whether it be Flatliners, whether it be Stir of Echoes, Hollow Man, always enjoyed him and a lot of his filmography. John C. Reilly, a bit more of a serious role, because he's usually, we think of him as comedy. He's a guy that he's not 100% gung-ho about this, but at the same time he's not doing anything to change it either. And I thought he worked fine. And there's some nice shots of the rapids and the landscape, like I said, but man, it just feels like it takes forever for it to get going. And I'm sorry, I don't find the characters that interesting. Meryl Streep, I would say at best she was fine. David Strathairn at the beginning, it's just sort of the typical workaholic guy who's doing his drawings and out of his element. Other than the landscapes, it was Kevin Bacon's performance that really kept me engaged. The kid, at times he just came off as a little shithead. It's not the actor, it's just the way the character's read. Just sometimes with the way he acted, just came off as a little shit. I almost cheered when Kevin Bacon slapped him in the face. You should have broken your promise. And I'm like, hit him again, Kevin, hit him again. It just felt like it moved slowly. I don't know if it's just... I think there should have been a lot more instances of maybe little dangerous rapid action sequences pop in there. Like, yeah, there are moments here and there, and then you build up to this lengthy, 15-minute finale. Sort of build up to it. And you get at least little bits and pieces of rapid rafting action. Or I don't know, maybe something else could have been injected into there. Because really all that happens, spoilers, is that it's a build up, build up, build up. Kevin shows the kid the gun, and it's a promise. David Strathairn knows that something's up, stands up to Kevin Bacon. Kid warns him, watch it, Dad, he's got a gun. We don't go down the river. What? I mean, it feels like an hour into the movie. That's when they're camping. David tries to get the gun. John C. Reilly wakes up. David runs. Kevin Bacon runs after him. David's on the hill. Even though Kevin says he's got him dead to rights, David just still fucking just sits there. And thankfully Kevin's a bad shot, so then David falls into the water. But he's alive and he follows them, able to give a signal to Meryl Streep that he's still alive. And then him and this dog on foot. Okay. I actually wrote this down with my shitty drawing. And this is very shitty chicken scratch drawing. You see how shitty this looks? Me being Sid, this is what made me do. Have a chicken scratch drawing. Okay. See, this is how shitty it looks. So I put the canoe, right? The raft of 4 people, right? Right here. Actually, that's 4 people. Here's David. Here's this, I don't know, looks like a fucking bud dog. I don't know. Cockroach dog. So, he's going to run all the way on foot to get to ahead of them, while they are in this rushing fast rapids. Now, which do you think should get here first? Here first. Do you think the guy on foot who's never been in the outdoors, never been out here before, with a dog, or these 4 paddling, going through these fast rapids, even if Meryl Streep tries to take her time? You think they would get there first, right? No. Somehow, 4 people, even if Meryl Streep wants to take it slow, it's still these very fast-moving rapids of the river. David is able to get there on foot with enough time to spare to do this big, exquisite trap where they do this and do that and do this in order to flip the raft over. And my whole question is, if that could happen the whole damn time, why the fuck didn't Kevin Bacon and John C. Reilly just walk there themselves? Why did they have to fucking get on the damn raft in the first place? Why did they need someone to help them go through the rapids in the first place? When you could walk there, you could walk there. Why didn't they just fucking do that? Why didn't they just walk there then? Oh, well, they didn't know the outdoors. Neither does this guy. Well, this guy got a map. They could have gotten a fucking map. Either we could walk or run, huff it, and if David Strathairn could make it, Kevin Bacon and his buddy could make it there. And then they wouldn't have to deal with any of the rafting bullshit, deal with hostages. They wouldn't have to deal with any of that. Almost drowning, which Kevin Bacon does almost. His character does almost drown at one point. Just doesn't know how to swim. So I'm sitting there going, why the fuck don't they just walk? David Strathairn walked with the dog. I should say ran with the dog. And got there ahead with enough fucking time to make this fucking trap and all this other stuff. So he got there first, and he got there quicker. He got there way, way ahead of schedule. And yeah, he was on foot. But these are 4 on a raft. So yeah, I don't know why the hell that was the case then. I really don't. Like, then, whatever. I didn't understand that. That didn't make any sense to me. It's like, that doesn't make any damn sense. Like, he gets there by foot quicker than these 4 in a fucking raft. And it's like, well, why the fuck didn't Kevin Bacon and John C. just walk there themselves then? Why they didn't need a raft in the first place. You didn't need to get there with the raft. You didn't need to go through this whole fucking schmeal at the finale. Because these 2 criminals are too stupid. But yeah, Meryl Streep and them, they go through rapids. Very intense, well-filmed scene. Easily the best scene in the movie. David Strathairn is able to get it, so flip the boat. David tries to fight Kevin. He's getting his ass kicked. Meryl Streep gets the gun. Decent little scene where Kevin Bacon pretends like he's emotional, and then you realize that was an act. But yeah, this Meryl Streep, it's kind of like Sally Field. Just one of those actresses I just don't buy. I don't mind them as actresses. I don't mind them as actors. But I just don't 100% buy them in this field, in this genre. Interesting they took a chance. But just something about it is that I just don't buy 100%. And then you get a very weak-ass Jerry Goldsmith score. I'm sorry, I love Jerry Goldsmith. He's one of my favorite composers. I'm not even going to call this bad music. It's just very forgettable music. It's music that doesn't sound bad when you're hearing it, but at the same time, it just nowhere near his pedigree. Whether it be Air Force One after this, whether it be the Rambo films, or even Leviathan, Runaway, Star Trek the Motion Picture. The River Wild just... Even the score I thought was very forgettable, and I expected more out of Jerry Goldsmith. Because I can't, you know what, I saw the film, I can't even give you a single note. And I'm not going to even say... It wasn't bad. Like I say, I don't think it was bad. It was just kind of mediocre. Like, or typical. Maybe it's typical. Typical. Mediocre would be a bit too mean. Bit like typical but forgettable. Maybe average. Maybe average is a better. Average forgettable score. Average as in... It's not bad to listen to. It doesn't make your ears bleed. And apparently there was another score. Makes me wonder how the hell bad that score was. If this is the score that won. So yeah, I'm pretty lukewarm on the film. I don't think it's that underrated. I don't think it's as great as people make it out to be. It's like Point Break, honestly, with Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze. I don't think this. There's a lot of '90s action films I love. '90s is one of my favorite decades. I love Evelyn Street Kill, Live Wire, Die Hard 2, Die with a Vengeance. I love Universal Soldier, Time Cop, Hard Target. I like Daylight, Eraser. I like Terminator 2. Love The Last Boy Scout. The Perfect Weapon, Deadly Outbreak. Cuffs with Christian Slater. The list goes on of '90s action films. Batman Returns, Volcano, Demolition Man, Demolition Man, Demolition Man, Cliffhanger, Last Action Hero, Adventures of Ford Fairlane. It goes on and on and on how many action films of the '90s I love. I love Broken Arrow. I like Hard Rain, Twister, Independence Day. This, I always thought was pretty meh. I like Point Break with Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves. That's another one I'm like, I don't get the hype for it. I mentioned all the other ones I enjoy. I like a lot of them, but Point Break I never got, and this one I never got. So, Kevin Bacon does a good job. I wish it was a different actress. I wish the pacing was a bit tired, because it's like an hour and 50-some minutes, and it feels it. Maybe if it was a shorter, like if you cut 20 minutes out. That's it. I don't feel, this felt like it should be a tight, wide-knuckle thriller. I don't feel that tight editing with it. It feels stretched out too much. It feels languid. It feels, I don't know, just didn't do much for me. So, yeah, I can't really say I'm a big fan of The River Wild. Like I said, never was. Not an awful film. If you like '90s films like I do, it's easily worth a watch. Most people were blown away by it. Anyway, does it, funny enough, does make me think of Blown Away with Jeff Bridges, where, I liked a lot of those '90s movies, but I don't like every '90s movie. The River Wild and Blown Away, they kind of have similar things, of my mentality over it. I think there's the same year, '94, really enough. Anyway, that's just me. Oh yeah, also Benjamin Bratt's in the film for a little bit. Benjamin Bratt from Catwoman. He's here as a ranger. I think a ranger. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.